What's up guys, just Ingame here, and today I'm bringing you a little video about Arid, the new map on the HATTRlCK, which is really fucking awesome. And well, let me tell you what is the video idea, which is the format about this video. And first of all, I will be talking about general aspects about this little map. I'll be talking about if it's big, if it's small, does it have a lot of buildings, does it have open spaces, can you push people out of this map or not, and stuff like that. I'll be talking about that in the first little space. Then I will be talking about which champions do I think that they will have some good advantages inside this map, and which characters will have a really big disadvantage on this map. And finally, we will be talking about some theories that I can relate or talk about by the design of this map and the feel about it. So I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get started with the general main things, which are the general aspects about Arid map. First of all, let's talk about something that's really general and typical in the map, and it is if it's big or if it's a small. And I think that it's a medium, and actually it's a medium-sized map with an area with a lot of buildings and another area which is really open. This map will be available for the siege mode, your classical competitive mode, the one that we all know. You just get into the center of the map, capture a point, then you have to guide a little cord to your enemy's base. This map has some open areas in a lot of different ways. Let's talk about the general one, which is the typical, can I push people out of the map? And yes, you can. I have seen this little thing about high res that always, but a lot of times, just a lot of times, the right area of a map is open. You can push people out of the map in the little right area. You can push people from this map in a lot of points. It has a really big area, open area, but there's other maps which have bigger areas open to, well, for you to push your enemies out of the map. But anyways, it does has it, and that's a little detail that I think that it's quite funny, the fact that high-res always always makes the right area of a map open. And I noticed this thing and I thought, hey, well, that's kind of funny. And the other type of open, it is are there a lot of buildings or not? Yes and no. Funny thing is that in the left, in the left area of this map, there's a lot of buildings, there's a lot of structures, little hallways, little alleys, and a lot of ways that you can flank your enemy or just take different routes. But on the right side, it's a fucking big area, or a really open area that anyone can see you. If they're paying attention, they will see you going through that area. The only thing in that area is a big fucking box. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a pillar, I don't know, but it's only one big box and some little boats. But I think that there are boats. They are boats. I don't know what they are, but that's my theory. They are boats. But yeah, it's a really big open area that anyone can see you. You can have a really clear line of sight if you're paying attention to your enemies from that area, if they're going around that area, right? And yeah, that's the two types of open that this map has. So in a big nutshell, we can say that this map is medium sized. It's not that of a big ass fucking map like the Dark Crossing, but it ain't that of a really small map like Stonekeep or Timbermill. It's kind of the size of Timbermill, a little medium small map. And also, it doesn't have a lot of open areas. It does has a really open area, but the other ones are kind of meh. And that's about it for general aspects. Now let's talk about which champions do I think that they will have an advantage or disadvantage in this map. Kinessa is the first one that comes into my mind, since this map is really open. You can have a line of sight to your enemies really easily, really easily. And this also works for Victor, since his ult will only activate when you have line of sight to your enemies. So I think that these two characters will have a great time in this map. The only thing is the fact that at the left side there's a lot of structures and a lot of little alleys and hallways and houses and stuff like that, and ramps and different structures that, well, flanks may use to flank, right, to do their job. So it's like a double-edged sword. You will be able with a Kinessa to pick up enemies really easily in this map, since you actually have a sniper booth kinda that aims directly at the capture point, but also you have this little trouble that at the left side of the map you don't have that of a clear view, and flanks may come up to you really easily from that rear view. Which flanks are the best in this map? That's the question. And I think that mobility wise, that I think that aside from being fast, but also you're able to maneuver this character either on the vertical movement or horizontal movement. I think that Maeve, Evian, and Droxus are the best ones for this map to actually take advantage of the bunch of structures and all that. I wouldn't take Sky, since her vertical movement is really limited. I think that she doesn't have any. And I wouldn't take Buck, since, well, his movement is really great. His fucking, like, his mobility is really great, but the fact is that I feel that you can't maneuver him really well, right? So yeah, that's like the main reason of why I wouldn't take Buck, but I think that those three main champions are the ones who have the best mobility in this map. Other characters that I think that will have the same little thing about it, the double-edged sword, will be characters who have an area of effect damage, ability or main basic attack and stuff like that, like Drogos or Grok or Moldamba, Tyra. Why? Well, there are some choke points, but there are some really big ass points like the capture point. It's really big, so you will have to aim really well your AoE attacks, since the enemies will just be able to move away and still capture the point. So that's like a little something that I saw in this map. Other champion that I forgot to mention, that I didn't mention in the Spanish video, now that I have been I make my English videos differently from the Spanish ones, and one thing is that Barrack actually has a lot of potential. I have been playing lately with Barrack, and I think that he has some potential in this map, since you will be able to lay down your turrets, and your turrets will need line of sight to actually fire, right? This map has a fucking lot of that. It actually has a lot of line of sight areas, a lot of clean areas, so you will be able to place down your turrets and maul down your enemies really easily with your turrets standing there and doing their job, spamming damage. And I think that he will be one of those champions who will take advantage of this map by having this big ass open areas and stuff like that. Also, Drogos will be able to be a fucking pain in the ass in the capture point, now that I remember, since he's able to fly, right? But this capture point is really tall. I mean, the structure of the capture point is really tall, kind of like, how to say it, you know, ice mines. No, ice mines not. The other one, the one with a little, it's also about ice, but it has like a structure. The capture point is inside a structure. I don't remember the name right now, but that map, imagine that structure, but taller. So Drogos will be able to move from one side to another on that map, be a big pain in the ass as he is for tanks and supports. So that's a little thing that I didn't mention, but that's also another double-edged sword. Why? Because the area is really open. It's a really open area, and you will have a Kinessa taking advantage of that. You will have a Kinessa who will be sitting down, dealing a lot of damage, a lot of damage from the back line. So what I'm telling you, double-edged sword again. But anyways, now that we have talked about which champions do I think that they will have a great time and which ones will have a shitty time in this map, I'll be talking about lore. I don't know lore about Paladins. I don't know if there is. I have been looking for official lore, but there are some little descriptions and that's it. And I don't rely a lot of them since they're like really fucking vague in general. So I come up with my ideas because I'm really creative. So what I was thinking is that, well, who has like stuff to do with the desert and like Middle East stuff? Sha lin, right? And also Ying. So maybe I didn't notice this, but maybe Sha lin and Ying have this relationship, not necessarily like love intended relationship, but some things they have something to do, like their style is really like Middle Eastern kind of stuff, so maybe they're related, and this map is their main city, right, where they were I was gonna say created, where they were born, where they were raised, I don't know how to pronounce that, but well, where they grew and learned how to live in life, and maybe some like shit went on with the crystals that we are seeing in Paladins that are like the general thing that all characters have in common, right, like crystals. Something about these crystals blew up, and well, this city is where these two characters joined forces or knew each other, grew up, or allied. So that's about my general theory. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys like this video. I will be keeping like uploading this, since it's really cool. It's really cool to come up with ideas. And well, I see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. See ya, guys.